Long before synthesizers dominated modern music, before funk became a global language, before hip hop producers sampled the cosmic grooves of the 70s, there was one man whose imagination rewired the future of sound. This man was classically trained, spiritually guided, and sonically fearless. This man wasn't just a keyboard player, he was an architect of color, space, and vibration. From Parliament Funkadelics, bass lines, and swirling chords, to the textured kinetic soundscapes he brought to the talking heads, he reshaped the DNA of American music. His keyboards became anthems, his synth tones became blueprints, and his creativity became legendary. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Bernie Worrell. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. If you guys would love to connect with me outside of YouTube, then I am officially announcing that I am on Discord. Here, you can provide me with feedback on my recent uploads. You could drop your suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to chat it up about videos or about music in general, or just about anything, we could do it here. We could do it together. I hope to see you there. The link is in the description below. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Before he became the Wizard of Wu, before he transformed the sound of funk, rock, and synthesizers forever, Bernie Worrell was a child prodigy. Born on April 19th, 1944 in Long Branch, New Jersey, and raised in Plainfield, New Jersey, Bernie showed that musical brilliance was almost immediately. He played piano by the age of 3, composed classical pieces at the age of 8, and performed with orchestras before reaching high school. He wasn't just a natural talent, he was supernatural. Bernie didn't just learn music, he understood it completely. It was something like it echoed in his DNA. His parents recognized the gift and they nurtured it. Bernie studied music at the New England Conservatory of Music and later at Juilliard, two of the most prestigious classical institutions in the world. There he observed theory, harmony, orchestration, and discipline. But Bernie wasn't destined for classical halls. He was destined to rewrite the future of rhythm. In the late 60s, Bernie reconnected with musicians from his hometown, including a barber turned songwriter named George Clinton. Clinton was building something new, something wild, something revolutionary. Bernie joined Clinton's evolving collective. First was the Parliaments, then the emerging P-Funk movement. Bernie wasn't a sideman, he was an architect from day one. His classical background collided with Clinton's psychedelic vision, birthing a sound that the world had never heard. Bernie's keyboard lines was melodic, funky, cosmic, and even orchestral all at the same time. He brought musical order to P-Funk's controlled chaos. If George Clinton was the captain of the mothership, with Bernie, he was the engine. Between 1970 and 1980, Bernie played a critical role in albums that would redefine the era. Albums such as Maggot Brain, America Eats Us Young, Cosmic Slop, Let's Take It to the Stage, Mothership Connection, The Clones of Dr. Frankenstein, and Motor Booty Affair. His minimal bass lines became legendary. None more iconic than the explosive rubbery glove on Flashlight. That bass line wasn't played on a bass guitar at all. It was Bernie designing a sound that felt alive. Producers, keyboardists, and bass players alike studied that line for decades. It became a blueprint for funk, electro, G-funk, hip-hop, and even pop. Bernie wasn't just playing keyboards, he was inventing new sounds. Long before synthesizers was mainstream, Bernie mastered them. He treated each instrument like a painter treats color blended tones, stacking textures and creating atmospheres. He experimented with Moog synthesizers, clavinets, string ensembles, electric pianos, ARPs, and Oberheim synths. Bernie wasn't copying trends, he was inventing them. Producers like Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, and countless other hip-hop artists later sampled Bernie's creations. His influence became a foundational pillar of G-Funk and West Coast hip-hop. Modern music, from electronic to R&B to film scores, carries Bernie's fingerprints. In the early 80s, Bernie embarked on an unexpected collaboration by joining David Byrne and the Talking Heads. The union was electric. Bernie brought warmth, groove, and improvisational brilliance to their angular, cerebral style. On albums like The Name of This Band Is the Talking Heads and the iconic film Stop Making Sense, Bernie emerged as a secret weapon. His playing added emotional depth and funk to every moment. He wasn't just a guest musician. He was the missing ingredient that pushed the band into a new creative stratosphere. Bernie wasn't content with being part of legendary bands. He had his own visions. His solo albums blended funk, classical rock, jazz, and experimental elements. With albums like All the Woo in the World, Funk of Ages, Improv Scenario, and Blacktronic Science, these albums showcase Bernie's imagination at full power. Unbound by group dynamics, free from musical limits, he collaborated with artists like Bill Laswell, Bootsy Collins, Mos Def, Jack Bruce, and Les Claypool, to mention a few. His music was fearless and decades ahead of its time. Despite his genius, Bernie's career wasn't always rewarded the same way it should have been. Like many P-Funk alumni, he faced financial instabilities due to contract disputes and mismanagements within the sparring P-Funk empire. Health struggles later emerged in life. Tours became harder, and Bernie, he kept playing, not for fame or fortune, but because music was his essence. Even as medical challenges arose, Bernie continued to perform with a sense of purpose and spiritual intensity. Fans rallied around him, artists paid tribute, and the love he gave through music returned to him in full. Bernie never stopped creating because he couldn't stop. Music was his heartbeat. Sadly, on June 24th, 2016, Bernie passed away, but his impact didn't fade, it grew. Keyboardists studied him, producers, they sampled him, and bands, they tried to emulate him. Bernie reinvented what a keyboard could be. He reshaped funk, transformed rock, and inspired hip-hop. He changed electronic music, and he lit a path for generations of experimental artists to follow. His name may not always appear in headlines, but his influence is hidden in plain sight. Bernie didn't just play keys, he opened up worlds. A child prodigy who became a titan of innovation. Bernie was simply a quiet architect behind some of the most important music that lasts for centuries. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song that Bernie Worrell played on?